people who think life is a happy series of coincidences and trust the official narrative, some of us know better. Tales of Stonehenge, dogmen, chemtrails, and more. All of this we will explore in the Seany Zone.
Greetings, people of Earth, Earthlings, if you will.
How are you?
Welcome to the Seany Zone once again.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing well, Bobby. How are you, my friend?
All right, doing good tonight.
Good. Real quickly before we start off, I wanted to address. Last week we got a super chat at the very end of the show. It didn't get on the air, and I just want to give a big shout out to Jay Wolfenstein. He had a very nice donation at the end of the show, and I thank him for that. I just want to say that. I didn't want to let it go unheralded. So thank you, Jay.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so there's been a lot going on. We're still reeling in the aftermath of the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And Bobby, there's been a lot of accusations coming out recently against one Taylor Swift. And we have some clips or some photos to show and a clip trying to make a point about her or it.
Yeah, I hear a lot of theories thrown around about her being attached to like occult things and witchcraft and things of this nature, as you will. But I'm curious as what your take is and what you're going to show me up here tonight. So,
well, Anton LaVey, the founder of the Satanic Church, he had a kid, and her name was Seany LaVey, and basically, she's the spitting image, or I should say, Taylor Swift is the spitting image of her. So, if we can take a look at some of those photos and show everyone exactly what's going on here, please.
All right. I think, Andy, you have photo one, I think, ready for us, sir? Or if you need me, I can screen share it.
Yeah, if you can screen share it. I don't have one up yet.
Okay, I thought you had. Let me see. Let me find it.
They're working against us right now as we speak.
The man is trying to suppress our broadcast, per se. Let me see. Trying to figure out where I sent that last, Seany. Oh, okay. This was one of the internet pictures. I think that's why I got that one, Andy. You're right. Okay, here we go. I got this one for screen share. Here we go. Here it comes right now. Some things we got screen share and some things we got local. Here it is right here. Check this out. This is your picture. Tell everybody this again. There it is, Andy.
Yes. Okay. Look at it. I mean, all you gotta do is use your eyes and your cognitive thought to look at what we're dealing with. Spitting image.
Yeah, many people, I would look at this and say that's two pictures of Taylor Swift at two different times. But you're saying that the person on the left is that Seany LaVey?
Yes.
Or is it, or the person on the right?
Well, here's an interesting factoid. Seany LaVey desperately wanted to be a musical star, a pop singer, entertainer, if you will, which is another ironic twist to this. I think there's another photo as well that shows a similar, a similarity, if you will.
Yeah, let me get up photo number 2 here, right? Comparison number 2. We'll throw this up right quick. Here's another photo for your submitted for your approval. There you go, Seany, for your approval. Right here. There's two different pictures, brother.
Yeah. Looks an awful lot like her. What wouldn't you say?
I see. Yep. Very close, brother. I would say that's like two separated pictures of Taylor Swift. It is uncanny how close it is, but she wanted to be a pop star, you say, huh?
Yes. And ironically as well, any of you who lived through the satanic panic of the 80s into the early 90s, Taylor Swift was born during that time frame. Well, born, hatched, created. I don't know
appeared.
How you would. Grown in a lab, perhaps.
That's funny that you say that. Grown in a lab. It kind of goes with what we're going to end up talking about tonight, isn't it?
It does. There's a
segue
going on here tonight.
You got the segue, bro.
And obviously, Taylor Swift. The whole, like I've said before, with the whole Super Bowl thing, she's like this super icon. Oh, did we have that other clip of?
Yes. See, I got some more.
Okay, yes.
Yep, we got a couple more elements here. Well, we're not going to play the one with her, so we decided, but you could tell people we had a video of Xena Shrek doing her thing, right?
There is film. There are YouTubes out there. You can look up Xena LeVay, who now goes by Xena Shrek, singing, and it's not very good.
No,
I could see why she didn't become the pop star that her clone baby, whatever it is, Taylor Swift became. But yes, and then there's another one where Bobby, I'll just let you roll that one.
Okay, it says it's proof that she's satanic is the setup, but here you go. I'll run this and we'll talk about it.
So in this video, you can clearly see she's throwing up the devil horns over here, right?
Dave, what are you doing?
I'm giving a blessing to the audience.
That's Anton LaVey.
Throwing it back.
Well, they thought it was a
the leader of the satanic church, right?
Yes.
Would you like me to show them how the sign of the curse works?
The sign of the curse?
Completely different.
How does it go?
No, not at you. Not at you.
They're like, no, we believe that shit.
Aim
No.
it toward Red China, would you?
This is the sign of the horns.
Well, it's the devil horns, bro.
Yeah.
Two fingers.
I saw that at the
behind
Ozzy
it.
concert,
This way
man.
spread apart for sort of shotgun
Ja.
blast, you know,
I always
all over.
figured if I ever met the
Together.
devil, it'd have dirty fingernails. Go on.
Other ones too.
Holy
What are
shit,
the
you have
other-
dirty
The other ones,
fingernails.
one of them's the pox sign. That's 3 fingers extended.
Pox on you?
A pox on you during the Middle Ages.
A pox on you and your... Got your bitch.
So in this video,
Oh, shit, there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Shawnee, I have seen nothing ever since the Super Bowl, bro. I'm glad you touched on this. I have seen nothing but, like, things that are accusing her of witchcraft and being a demon and things of this nature. So I'm glad that you're touching on this tonight, brother.
Well, there's been, in the last year, there's been a lot of the pop concerts and stuff have had a very satanic theme to them. A lot of reds and fire and things.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I lived through the, my mom came in and raided my room of all my, Slayer tapes and
Really?
Megadeth. Oh my God. Yeah. We watched
She cleansed you, huh?
tried. Well,
Shawnee, we're going to remove Satan out of your room.
She took away probably like 25 tapes of mine. Poison, she thought was
Fucking poison. Come on, mom.
Because the girl, the one where she had the long tongue. Well, that was apparently a sign of Satan.
That's right.
Back in the day, and so she just assumed that was, because her church friends told her Satan, if it's got flames or if it's got a tongue on it, then it's evil.
Remember back in that day, I remember all the ruckus that album cover caused, bro, and they ended up taking that off of the shelves and putting bars over the top and the bottom so you could only see the eyes. But I got the legit copy. I'm a poison guy.
I had one until she destroyed it.
oh, there that went. Thanks a pant load there, Mom.
Yeah, thanks.
Who's going to talk dirty to me now, right?
Yeah, right. So, but anyways, this is an ongoing investigation. So, stay tuned. There's more to come. I mean, I guess I could ask, does anyone in the chat think that, do you think that Taylor Swift is satanic or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Signs are starting to point towards yes, but we'll find out, I suppose. Also, Bob, I wanted to commend you. Last week we were talking about Bigfoot, and I was telling you about Portlock, Alaska, and you were like, "Well, what if that wasn't a big Bigfoot? That tormented that town."
Yeah.
If you haven't heard it, you can go back and listen to last week's show. It was around like towards the end of the show. And I it spurred me to thinking, and so I dug in a little bit, and I found out something called the Kushtaka. And if you could show us that photograph that I sent you.
Yeah, you said you had a surprise for me. We share a lot of information preparing the show, but Shawnee says, "BF, I got some surprises for you tonight. Something I'm gonna show you." So, what is this again? The
Kushtaka. It's a being. It's the Tlingit people of Alaska believe in this otter man. And it's just creepy. So he's a shapeshifter, and what he'll do is he will present himself to lost travelers. He'll lure them into the woods, deeper into the full forest, presumably to destroy and eat them, tear them to shreds. That's one thought. Another thought is that they turn their victims into fellow Kushtadakas. So, and they'll also, what they'll do is they'll swim in the river and cry like a human baby. They'll make a noise like a human baby.
Damn.
To get people to wander out to try to help, trying to save this little kid and then they get drowned or torn to shreds.
Damn.
Basically. So
did they lure him in with the baby cry, huh? That's something.
Yeah. So and they, they're humanoid generally in shape, but they can change their shapes. And so it's possible.
Yo, what is up? Kicking it old shoe.
Love it. Where did that come from?
That's good. Andy just pulling stuff out. He's representing with that Howard 100 jacket.
I love that. Yeah.
He was shape-shifting.
There you go. That's right. There you go.
So I just want to commend you for, thinking outside of the box, and you led me to a door I hadn't seen before. So
good shit, man. Well, that looks like some kind of mutated animal. It looked like, I thought about your Dogman right away that you always talk about,
right.
But it's much taller, but it looked like some kind of genetic mutation, if you will, would have you. But so, and that kind of going to lead to where we're eventually going to end up here. I think it might end up, going that way when you're ready.
Yeah, I just have one more quick. I had to make a couple comments about Stuttering John, because this guy is just infuriating. So,
and now deep thoughts in the Seany Zone.
Yeah, first of all, you're praying for someone's kids to be gay or trans. I mean, what the fuck move is that?
God, I hope your kids end up gay. I hope like that's a curse or something. You would wish on somebody. Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Like that's a gay bash in and of itself. That's bashing trans people, saying that that it's a curse to be.
You're saying that you're saying it's a negative right away. Yes. He doesn't realize he's doing that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I wanted to bring up. There's been some fun made of the fact that he got the COVID and knowingly flew home with it, and I'm like, isn't that has to be a crime? Is that a terrorist charge that could be brought on the guy?
I bet back in the height of that
terrorism.
I bet back in the height of that, Sean, and I won't keep saying the word again, but I bet back in the height of that, people were a little more hyped up about that stuff, and it probably would have been considered like more of a crime. But now that it's kind of lessening and all, not so much. But I thought so too. I would have been indignant, and he was kind of hypocritical because he was one of those people that's saying you shouldn't do that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, and the fact of it is, like, if he was just on one direct flight from his shithole in LA to Atlantic City, which is also a shithole, which while Bob got thrown out of a shithole and can't come back, that's terrible, right? But the fact that he took like 5 connecting flights. Now he's exposed not just like a couple hundred people, but 1,000 or so, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they'll tell 2 friends, and they'll give it to 2 friends, and so on. Yeah, that's kind of what he did.
I kind of see him like the villain in 12 Monkeys, the guy that was going around the airport spreading the germs around.
Wow, good old reference. That's a way old movie there. 12 Monkeys reference. Yeah. There you go, bro. Haven't seen that in a long time.
It's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I guess apparently it's about stuttering John and his.
It's a prequel about Sudden John. We didn't know the unintended prequel.
Hip hop police should be arresting him, and that's what I have to say about that.
All right.
So now that we've talked about terror and lab grown pop stars,
Yeah.
I wish. Do we have a drum roll?
A drum roll. Let me see. Where do I have my drum roll?
Because I feel like we could get into.
How do I not have a drum roll? Oh yeah, of course I do.
All right, tonight's topic is Plum Island.
Boom! Plum Island, we're doing it, people. So give it to me, Shawnee. I know. There you go. There's a little overhead shot of it.
There it is. All right, and that's our show. Thank you.
No, thank you. All right, there you go. Good show, Shawnee. Yeah, so Plum Island, I told you that everybody thinks we've heard Plum Island. I only know little bits and pieces about it, but that's what I love about doing the show at you, Shawnee, is that you educate me, and doing research, I educate myself and find out cool shit. So I'm looking forward to sharing it with everybody tonight. And yeah, so that's an island kind of off of New York, right? Kind of where you live. Tell everybody where that is and whatnot, where that's situated.
It's at the end of, it's off of Orient Point, New York. So like off of like Long Island, pretty close to where Howard Stern's mansion is, by the way.
Ooh, very interesting. If you can throw this one up here, Andy, real quick. I have a map that I could pull out on. Let me go here. I have a map that we can kind of play with. And I'll show people relative where Plum Island is relative to like Long Island and the rest of civilization. Because sometimes you think island and you think like Gilligan's Island. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's no harm to us. But look, here's Plum Island right here. Okay, and that's at the tip of tell everybody where that is. That's like the tip of Long Island, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so this longer island here to the left, that's the tip of Long Island. I'm going to zoom out, and you're going to see where Plum Island is in comparison to the rest of civilization in the world. So there you go. So there you got Connecticut.
Not far away.
Right, so there you got Connecticut. Right, it's not very far, as the proverbial crow flies, they say, from civilization. So tell everybody about Plum Island, bro. And like, what's the origin of the island and all?
Okay, well. It's an island. It's small. It's only 3 miles long and 1 mile wide at its widest point. It's 3 miles from Orient Point, New York, and 17 miles off the coast of Old Lyme, Connecticut. It originally was land of the Pequot tribe. There was a Dutch. The Dutch sailed around there and really marked their claim on a lot of the islands and even Manhattan at one point was New Amsterdam. But anyway, so his name is Adrian Block. He found the island for the Europeans at least. And he named it Plum Island because of the beach plums that you could see as you sailed in. There was a lot of plants on the outskirts. And let me just tell you, Adrian Block was also, he founded Block Island off the coast of Rhode Island.
Okay. So,
in 1897, Plum Island was a fort. It's called Fort Terry, and it played parts of World War I, World War II, and even some of the War of 1812. And then it changed hands a few times. Now the interesting part is during World War II, like leading into World War II, there was an island where secret tests and bio weapons were being made for Germany, called Rheims Island. And after World War II, we invited all those Nazi scientists to come and their assistants to come stay on Plum Island now and work for us in our fight against the Russians. The Russians and the U.S.
Hmm.
fought for, to get these scientists
Yeah, I understand.
to
Some
work
of
on
them
their
were,
side.
yeah, some of them were even like awarded with immunity from war crimes if they were agreed to come to work
Yes.
with the U.S. Yes.
Yes. Eric Traub was the most notable. He had worked a lot on pathogens, and they were very interested in insect-borne or insect carrying diseases through mosquitoes,
Yeah.
ticks, and spiders and stuff. They were trying to all kinds of things to try to what their game plan was during World War II was to infect all these bugs and drop them on the opposing forces,
Yeah.
saving their troops, which commendable,
just-
maybe not. I don't know. You're trying to negate the losses on your own side. I understand that, but
Yeah.
I mean, to create these diseases that now we've been plagued with.
Yeah, it points to the desperation, I guess, just to win, because like you said, if you set a plague out, it's going to be set out even on their own soldiers probably too. But I guess that's the sign of desperation they were in. They were looking like for these bio warfare types of things to help them minimize the need for soldiers in the war and to end the war.
Yeah. So at one point, Bobby, there was nearly 1,600 Nazi scientists and their assistants on this tiny island trying to work on. There you go. There you go. So famously, well, let me back up into the timeline first.
Okay.
So in 1954, the USDA took control of the war was done, and now the USDA was going to take control of the island, and they were going to run the animal disease research center to eradicate diseases that would wipe out our food sources, like foot and mouth disease and such things.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to prevent rabies and whatnot, or to weaponize it is more what I think we ended up doing. But so then in 2003, Homeland Security took control.
Yeah, and I like the wording in that, Sean. I want to talk to you about that real quick, because you notice in the research they say that the Department of Homeland Security owns Plum Island. It's not that the United States owned it. I just thought it was kind of odd how they said, like, basically it's owned by the Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah, which is instantly sets off the alarms in your head. You're saying
that's kind of why I brought it up. That's kind of why I brought it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very very, very disturbing.
There's probably many like legal reasons to be able to do things or be able not to be detected of doing things. Maybe there's reasons that they own it rather than just say the government owns it. Maybe they keep their hands clean, if you will.
Plausible deniability.
There you go. Thank you, brother. You said that in much less words.
So in 2008, the government was trying to sell the island off. And then there was a court case, and they weren't allowed to sell it, and so it's still under ownership of the U.S. government or the Homeland. But that's not the research center itself. They want to move to, of all things, Kansas, Manhattan, Kansas.
Yeah, they say Manhattan and they go Manhattan, Kansas. Yes. Yes, Shawnee. So I'm glad that you touched on that too, because that is very disturbing to me, because like you said, the original intent of this island was so they could do these animal disease kind of things, these research things off land. So if there was an outbreak, most of us would be protected from it. So now it seems counterintuitive to me now, after having an island, to feel comfortable enough to move to Kansas, bro.
Well, and once we get into some of the things that got loose from the island, which is you're absolutely right. It's much harder to break free from.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got ocean around you, and it's not things just can't like wander away, get through a fence, and they're gone. They have to get across, channels, bodies of water, and we'll discuss some of those coming up. But before we get into that part, I've seen a few chats come up, so I wanted to kind of address them.
Yeah, let's talk to the people, man. I think they're digging it.
And see what's what. Biggest ETM fan. You think ETM jumped into SJ's body when he died?
You know what to do, Shawnee. You know what to do.
He does have the entitlement that Eric, for a small guy, had a very large ego, and I think John has one as well. It's very.
I don't know if all them egos could fit in one body. It's kind of like a reverse Men in Black, where they took over the alien took over the body. It's kind of like a reverse one. Little guy took over the big body. Exactly. There you go.
We got Joe Gillis here for member for 3 months. Plum Island is where Starling tried to entice Lecter for information about Buffalo Bill.
Have dinner and a fine bottle of Chianti.
That could be. I don't think that's where that was. But that's a great scene. This is from Clyde. $10. Thank you very much, Clyde. Have you ever heard of La Marzulli or Trey Smith? They discuss aliens and cryptids from a Christian occult perspective. Excellent historical information, even if you aren't religious. Great show, guys.
Thanks, Clyde.
Clyde, thank you. And no, I haven't heard of them. So La Marzulli, can we put that right back up? I wanted to write it down real quick.
While you're writing that, I will let you know that, Shawnee, even when I do my show, BF Live, every Monday at 12 noon East on my BF Live channel, I even get questions about the Shawnee show. There's so much excitement and questions about your show, bro. And they'll say, does Shawnee know this? Do you know that? And so many people are filled with so much cool information. I think we're going to have a lot of content for a long time to come there.
Yeah, this is. I'm always up to. I love to hear new things. I see Chris Abels is in the chat. Good guy.
What's up, man?
Okay. Oh, there it is. Yes. All right. So now we got some of the business out of the way. So you made a good point, Barbie, about the outbreaks and safety. Even with it being an island that people aren't allowed to go to, things still get loose. Like in the case of Lyme disease, they were obsessed about. During World War II, they were all about ticks, trying to. Ticks are easy to breed. They're hard to feel when they're crawling on you, especially if you're in war. You're not gonna notice if a tick is crawling up under your skivvies.
Yeah, it takes a while. We used to get the check when we went out in the woods all the time because my mother was paranoid of the ticks.
Absolutely,
absolutely.
So, so there was in 1975 there was an outbreak in Lyme County in specifically Old Lyme, which at the time was where the ferry was to Plum Island. I was just down there this weekend, and it said that as of last check, the ferry used to run out of Old Saybrook, and I drove up and down every dock. I drove my girlfriend crazy. But we drove around every dock, and I was looking for any hint or sign of any of it in both Old Lyme and Old Seabrook, and I found nothing. And anyone I asked did not want to respond to me. They told me to just move along, more or less. So something's afoot, because there's no hint of ever. The only ferry that I found, there's one to Long Island itself, to actual There's a town there, but it's not Plum Island. And also there's one to Block Island, which is not open in the winter. So
yeah. Well, I'm trying to, if we can go back real quick, I'm trying to reconcile the fact that, the government kind of does what the things they need to do, whether they ask our permission or tell us or not. So they say that they were doing this animal disease control on the island, which seems to be their main mission, if you will. That's the one they put out there. And like some other conspiracy theorists, they claim that all of their stuff is part of public record and whatnot. But I still say, because of the things like Lyme disease that we're going to talk about and the animals and strange things, that I have to think that it was more than just a disease control center, if you will. My personal take is it seems like just the front for maybe some of the other stuff they might have been doing. We might talk about, right?
Like a disease creation lab.
Exactly.
Of disease control.
Yeah, but they're so quick to tell you the good parts
money.
about we're saving you from hoof and mouth disease, but we're going to talk about the other side of some of this.
Yeah. So so Lyme disease, and it continues to be a problem to this very day. And excuse me, to break down, all it takes is one tick to get on a bird or a rat that gets on the boat with everyone going back and forth every day.
Sure.
That's all it takes. And then it lands on the mainland and then starts to spread. And you know what I mean?
Right.
And
From a facility that had a scientist that this was his specialty when the island was originated, right?
Was insects, was insect deployment of diseases. I mean, there you
go. We have that Lyme. We have that video that we could probably run about that might back some of this up.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's
I think go with number 2 there, Andy. I think Lyme was number 2.
1975. The small, quiet town of Old Lyme, Connecticut is home to 7,500 residents just east of the Connecticut River, and is ground zero for a frightening new affliction. An outbreak of fever, fainting, psychosis, delusional behavior, and paralysis. The infection is the first of its kind, and it's named after the town.
Lyme disease is a very devastating nerve disease.
But most unsettling is how the disease spreads, through ticks. And just 25 miles downwind from Old Lyme, Connecticut, across Long Island Sound, is Plum Island.
Boom.
This is Eric Traub's calling card. Documents from the National Institute of Health show that Plum Island has experimented extensively with tick-borne diseases.
Yep. And there you go. Thank you for that clip, Andy. So, so there you go. So they talked about this was this guy's wheelhouse. They named him. And so it seemed quite plausible that this could have originated from Plum Island. And I got to confess to you, Shawnee, that I'm a man of some years, and I had no idea that the name of Lyme disease came from that county of origin, brother. I had no idea that was the origin of the name. So thank you.
It just goes to show. I mean, it deductive reasoning, and you're like, put 1 and 1, and you're like, obviously that makes 2. So,
and that's why I like showing that video of how downwind, or essentially how close how plausible it was that it could have came from Plum Island and made its way, through winds or currents to Lyme, Connecticut. Sure.
And I was going this past fall. I was going through like a medical issue. And they ran a bunch of tests. I was getting tested for everything, and it turns out at one point I had Lyme disease. I have the antibodies still. It's not active right now, and I did talk like this before that.
I was going to ask you if you had any personal experience with Lyme disease, because I did in my family. We were quite the camping family when I was raising my kids when they were younger. And my one daughter became listless and had these unknown things going on with her, and went to the doctor. And sure enough, it ended up being Lyme disease. And it went kind of undiagnosed for quite a while, bro, before we kind of zeroed in on it.
Yeah, I had a similar. I used to camp a lot with my kids and my daughter as well. Her whole face, side of her face, she had rash, and she couldn't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got home, it was like, let's go get it checked out, because that's not good. And it felt like, and her head hurt, and she just was like, I'm tired.
Yeah, you hear that. You hear the fatigue, the muscle weakness, and it just takes a lot out of you and makes you delirious and whatnot. So I do know some people that have had Lyme disease. So I think it's quite highly plausible that that's kind of where that originated from, or something that was left over from things going on that island.
Fuck yeah. And I will say this too, she complained a lot about the taste of the pills that they had to take. They had to take those big horse pills.
Ooh, damn.
And it was bad. But
Hmm.
so some other outbreaks that took place around there. There was in 1967 there was an outbreak of the Dutch duck plague, which I didn't even know what that was, but it was
Can't
on.
say I do either.
It was Long Island was the only place in the world affected by the duck plague, except for the Netherlands themselves. They would have it over there. This is the first time it had ever been seen anywhere else in the world. That's interesting. No, I mean,
Absolutely. Absolutely, bro.
You don't see that every day, I suppose, unless it was just one long-range duck that flew over here on his last wings.
Dutch duck goose. Our friend Lost says in the chat, Dutch duck goose. That's a good one.
Maybe that's what it did. It turned them into geese.
Hey, Lost. How you doing?
Hi, Lost.
Hello, Wes.
In 1978, there was a massive outbreak of something. It's never been revealed what it was, but they had to exterminate everything, all the animals on the island. So it was something pretty bad. I mean,
and that's part of my
don't go to that lengths if it's not like outbreak, massive outbreak, world life ending possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know?
And I understand that was kind of the island's policy anyway. From the things that I was reading, is that they killed anything on site that moved because they couldn't take the risk of it flying out or getting in the water and getting in the general population. So having a lot of live wild animals was kind of looked down on the island. That they avoided them at all costs.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation. In 1999, there was a West Nile virus outbreak in New York City itself, which is not known for a lot. For West Nile is from
mosquito-borne, right?
From the bite of mosquito,
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
and I mean, New York City is not overly known for a lot of mosquitoes. I don't think. So. And then, ironically, that same year, there was also in Volgo. Hold on, I'm going to butcher this word.
This would be good. You need another drum roll?
Volgograd, Russia.
Judges? Let's hear the judges. No, I'm sorry, judges. No, you didn't get that. Sorry.
In that same year. But so okay. The outbreaks were in two spots of that same year, and one was here in the States, and one was in Volgograd, Russia, which is interesting. Was it a case of we're in a race with them to create this, like we were at the quote unquote space race?
Yes,
or was it deployed? Did we deploy it against them, or did they deploy it against us and it backfired on either team? I don't know. Or did they attack us with it and then we said, "Oh yeah, we'll send one back to you"? I don't know.
Did they?
But I see some more chats have just come in recently. Erica Ann, sorry for what you're going through there, kid. That's not fun. But big fan of weird cryptids and their origins. What's your thoughts on the paranormal? Love the show, boys.
Thank you, lovely Erica Ann. Thank you.
Well, paranormal is fascinating. I love it. My family, one of my aunts lived in a haunted house, and I'll get into that when we do our ghosts and spirits episode. There was some crazy stuff there. So, Stacy Allen, lots of people who worked on Plum Island were later diagnosed with cancer too. Yes, there's been a lot of diseases that you don't find in clusters like that. There was. I was reading something about. I wish I'd written the note down on that one. was a bloodborne disease, something with their blood.
Yeah.
I forget.
I don't know how those people they're made cut up of some material that I'm not made of, because I would be worried about constantly getting cancer or diseases all the time working at that place.
God,
hey, there's
fucking,
Don checking in.
Hey, Don. Is it Dio Don? Don?
It's just Don.
Okay, just Don. Shawnee, who built the pyramids? Excellent question. And again, we're gonna get to that, and I'll make sure to at length I'll discuss that exact topic.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Wolfenstein, my buddy. I'm glad you got in on time this time, John. I'm glad we got you before the end of the show.
Hopefully you caught your nice you thanked him at the beginning. If you didn't catch it, Jay. Yeah.
Jay, you can go back and replay. I did command you for last week's show, and I didn't get your chat on. So Jay says, my God, it all makes sense now. Stuttering John is a walking talking disease from Plum Island.
Boom, he figured it out. There you go.
Well, he stuck his thumb up his bum and pulled out a butt plum, I guess.
Good one, Shawnee. Hi-oh.
Okay. Plum Island is also all right. Bobby, do you remember the Montauk Monster?
Yeah, but I've kind of learned about it. I've heard, it was a name I heard about, but once again, I just never cared enough or dug into it until now. So I'm curious to what you know, because you're a regional guy, and I know that people that live in Long Island and in the greater Connecticut area, they have like a personal tie to this story. So I'm curious to what your take is on this.
So the Montauk Monster was founded. It was in 2008. It was found off the shore of Montauk, Long Island, at the beach there, and in fact, it's one of the pictures that is in our open. It's like it's the thing with like a beak, like laying there dead.
Yeah.
So it basically has parts of a raccoon, a turtle, and a dog. And people still haven't been able to pinpoint exactly what it is. Now there's a lot of things that wash up on shores all the time. Not all the time, but like you hear about them every other year or so.
Mm-hmm.
And generally they're like an old whale carcass or some fish that has that's begun to rot, and you can't really tell what it is, but sometimes they're pretty fresh, and this one's pretty fresh. And if you look at Montauk to Plum Island, it's not very, very far, and the creature was in pretty good shape when it was founded. It wasn't it wasn't totally degraded and like rotten. It had most of its form there still to it, is what I'm trying to say. And
so that was in 2008, you said, right?
2008.
So that was the most notable one, but I think there's
that one took the world by storm, because the thing is creepy as fuck. I wish I'd made sure we had a picture of it.
All right. Well, I don't know if that one is included in here, but if we can roll the video number 1 that we submitted. Let's see. Okay. I believe it was clip number 1, the Montauk. This is going to be a series of photos, and so this goes beyond 2008, even up to more recent days. You're going to see a couple photos. Yeah,
there's been a bunch of them. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. If we can roll that number on there, thank you, dear.
Just off the coast of New York, and a stone's throw from Montauk, lies Plum Island, a top-secret animal disease research center, haunted by rumors of genetic and biological experimentation.
The accusation is, of course, denied. But in 2009, several events started to occur that show that there is much more going on Plum Island than we know about.
Another hybrid creature washes up on the beaches of Connecticut, followed by another in 2011. And within the span of a year, 2 more on Long Island. Are these shocking real-life photographs a glimpse inside the secrets of Plum Island?
There you go. Thank you for that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots of sightings cited in that one.
Bobby, did you take note of any of what do you come away from that seeing? Like, what did you see in that?
I see a pattern. Number one, it's not like it's a one-time thing and it's like a myth that everybody's getting carried away with. I see that, and they all kind of look similar furry things. I didn't really get too detailed with it, but what do you tell us what you got out of it there?
Well, couple of them looked possibly canine. Couple of them look possibly like goats or sheep. Things you don't find in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I heard those theories that they could have been in the water too long and got puffy and distorted looking. Perhaps,
but I mean, but the skull, the one at the end with the skull it's not a fish. There's nothing it's got like flat teeth. It's like an herbivore. I don't see a lot of sheep or goats in the ocean. I don't know about you. It's
Nope.
odd to me. That's definitely very strange and fucking suspicious as hell. I mean,
so is this something you guys like talk about, or you just kind of live with this knowledge that this kind of monster thing happened? It's kind of out there. Is that kind of the local culture?
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get. There was, I was in couple years ago. This is in 2020. I was in Newport, Rhode Island, and I came across a horse that had washed up on shore.
Ooh.
Well, it looked like it was kind of hard to tell. It was very very rotten, but it was. I wish I had. I'm gonna have to see if I have the photos of that.
But any carcass you see. Imagine any carcass you see up in that area, you guys are going to start thinking conspiracy and Plum Island must be a leftover or some genetic freak or something, right?
Yeah, and like, why do horses don't generally swim? They don't, especially into the ocean. But so there were some other things that even so in 1997 there was a Connecticut man. Was bitten by a raccoon type of bird-like creature that was similar to the Montauk Monster. In 2006, a group of 10 fishermen were out on a boat, and they saw in the Long Island Sound a 10-foot serpent like snakefish that doesn't belong there.
Mm-hmm.
In 2010, it was there was a black man's body was found with mutated web hands, like their fingers.
I remember hearing that in one of the stories I was looking at for research. Yeah, that's kind of wild.
And this is the fucking this will flip up your lid right here. He had 5 holes drilled in his head, not gunshots. 5 holes drilled into his skull.
Yeah. Which they speculated was the indication of possible experimentation going on, right?
I mean, I don't think the mob mutates your hands and drills out your brain.
You don't think they bring a power saw or anything like that too? Nothing like that.
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to know what the mob does. So strike that. I never said it.
Scratch it from the record.
So in 2012, there was also a Long Island woman who saw a 6-foot creature in her backyard with glowing eyes. And that reminds me of my old friend, Dogman, who, if Dogman was going to be created anywhere, it would have been at that lab.
Yeah, and that's why I think this is so fascinating that this is all interconnected, and it's all kind of up in your area, Sean. It's kind of all up in that kind of greater kind of Connecticut, New York area that all these things are going on. So it makes it very plausible in my mind, bro. So I'm fascinated.
Absolutely. And then you think about because Beth loves to save birds and things and wildlife, and they're out on Long Island, and I'm wondering to myself, how many mutated birds or things that she's come across, she's exposing herself to,
Boy, how paranoid would Howard get if he knew that she's exposing herself to potential bird disease. But she's affiliated with that North Shore Animal League, right?
Right. But I'm saying, like, even not even so much. It doesn't have to be like bird disease. It could be, it could be the parasites that
Sure.
are on the bird that are more dangerous at this point than the bird itself. You know what I mean? You really don't know, and it's one of those things that if I'm all for saving animals and things, but I mean, at the risk of your own safety, I don't think that's a smart idea.
Probably
not. Do we have some more chats come in? I thought I saw some. Stacy says, if you ever come to Long Island to explore, I want to join you. All right. Well,
I think Stacy's already kind of like our third member of this show here, brother.
No doubt. She is on it. I love it. Rick's Wings and Rings. Rick's Wings and Rings. Shawnee, do you think the Dogman could let me read the words that are there. Shawnee, do you think Dogman could be closely related to the Chupacabra or werewolves? Also, Rick's Wings and Rings would like to kindly remind the chat not to feed your mugwai after midnight. Thank you, Rick. I did see that they're making another. Yes. I always walk all over that, Bobby, every time.
Nah, that's me walking on you, bro. You never know when I'm going to pop it up. You got
it. They are making a Gremlins 3, I guess.
I think I've heard rumblings of that. They always try everything old is new again, I guess. Probably won't be as good, never be as good as the first one.
No, that's true. Part 2 was pretty bad. Rick's Wings and Rings also gifted the Shuli gifted 5 the Shuli Network memberships.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go. Shawnee's got his own thing. Those guys do the old simulated, the oral, right? Shawnee, you just did your own thing, right? You got to come up with
Taylor Swift devil horn.
There you go. There you go. All right.
Thank you, Rick.
You got your own thing.
Oh, the more. Blummel's divorce lawyer gifted 1 Shuli Network membership.
Thank you. Awesome community. Get the Shuli laughs.
Oh, I like that. That was good.
That's our boy Andy.
Yeah. So there's that you clipped the Plum Island show that was very good. And what was the name of that one again? I've seen that one before, but I wanted to throw it out as a possible.
Look at my history real quick. I watched that yesterday. Get the right name for it.
It was like Unlocked or something.
Yeah, that was a good one. I watched that as part of doing. It's The Secrets of Plum Island, Unsealed Conspiracy.
Unsealed.
Unsealed.
That's a very, very good show. I guess the point is here that if things weren't safe on an island, I mean, how can they possibly be any more safe in the middle of Kansas? I mean, I guess there's a lot less people in Kansas. There's a lot less people in Manhattan, Kansas than in Manhattan, New York.
True.
So, you are removing a tremendous threat to a massive amount of people right off the rip. But
I don't understand why they think they're so much better now at containing a possible emergency on the mainland than they were back when Plum Island was originated. I don't understand where this confidence comes from, where they're going to move it into like a population center. It seems kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, I don't know, Bobby. It doesn't make any sense to me. And obviously it's above our pay grades. And if we really knew what was up, we'd probably both be dead. But
true, because when I first saw Plum Island, I'm like, wow, that's a beautiful island. I bet it'd be like developers, or they like to make that like a resort or a destination or something. So I think there was talk for a while to sell it privately, but then the conservators kind of stepped up and said, hold on, wait a minute, we're not going to do that here. And so I know that's why you said there was a lot of back and forth with it, but it's still owned by the government. But I thought for sure it would be developed, but it looks like they're probably going to they're decommissioning it, and they're going to move their center into Manhattan, Kansas. It's kind of weird.
There's also concern about contamination on the island, which
right
makes you really think, okay, what else were they doing there? I mean, it just all is very it stinks. Is what it does.
Mhm.
It stinks.
And you said you went to find the ferry there, but I know that getting on the island is not an easy thing. You can only get there through like a government ferry, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been I wouldn't have been allowed on it at all. And I understand that, but I was just trying to find like the port so I could take a picture for tonight's show. And apparently there isn't one that I couldn't find it. I was driving up and down every block and going out onto piers and stuff and getting told to leave and
Oh shit.
yeah, so it didn't pan out. It didn't pan out. That's what I'm trying to say.
And in that one video that we were talking about, they said when there was there was some limited view where they had like a press day and they let the media come on the island, and they asked the media not to show either side of the shoreline so as to reduce the likelihood that somebody would try to track down where these boats launch from.
Yeah, and they and they weren't allowed to go within 50 feet of the livestock, and they couldn't shoot they could only they would be told, okay, you can shoot this, and then they would all film whatever, and then they'd be like, all right, no, you can't anymore, and they'd have to move on, and then they'd show you some other little thing that you could that they would have let you show, and then nope, no more showing, and then they marched them through the whole thing like that.
Seemed like a press show, if you will.
Yeah, it was very contrived. Indeed.
Yeah.
But so I don't know what everyone else thinks about this. But being so close to me, it makes me an easy. The fact that it's moving to Kansas, I feel like I'll have a little more time to prepare and get out of here if need be, when the shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm standing on it for now, Bobby. I guess that's all I've got for Plum Island. If anyone wants to ask anything else,
yeah, man.
I think there's another chat or two out there.
A couple chats, or maybe we can go back and read some chats, see what the people are up to.
Erica Ann, $5, 5 bones. Shawnee on Spirit and Paranormal will touch on George's Island, being from New England. If you're talking about George's Island in Boston Harbor, if that's the one you mean, I was there this past summer, and it's fucking creepy as fuck, Bobby.
Is it?
It's an old it's an old fort, and there's a room in there called the Dark Arch. If this is what she means. And it is very dark in there, and it is scary.
I never heard of that one.
I am. She is. That is the one she means. So
there you go.
Yes, I was just there. And truthfully, I wanted to go back. I was gonna tell my kids that we should all go sometime if we can get a day if I can get everyone all together. But yeah, it's
she's saying it was a Civil War fort, Erica Ann was saying.
Yeah. It's very old. Fought.
Well, I had no idea of the origin of Plum Island, that it went back so far and it was used in the military. I even read something that said the British held the island for a little time, and a U.S. Navy general sent some of his men over through a channel of water to try to take it. They did a couple volleys of shooting and they retreated, and that is said to be one of the first amphibious attacks by our U.S. military.
Yes, that is
happened.
True. Yes, good call.
In conjunction with Plum Island.
Yes. It was because it had been bought off. They bought it off of the tribe for some pelts and
I read that, a jacket and some pelts, and then it changed hands through many families through a series of years until the war efforts cranked up, and then that's when the government got involved, in the 50s, I believe.
We're just gonna take this now, thank you.
Yeah,
which is what they do. There are nefarious things going on in plain sight. A little research, and it is all worse than these conspiracies put together. We are in a spiritual battle. Good versus evil. Stay strong. Thank you, Devin Cutmore.
Thank you, Devin.
What a nice guy. That was very kind.
Absolutely.
Mumbling Nick, the nooch. Shawnee, have you ever been to the Conjuring House? Actually, no. We were looking at going this past Halloween, but I think somebody new bought it, and you're not allowed in there anymore. Is that what I'm? Because it's not too far from me. But you remember the movie The Conjuring?
Yeah, I remember the hearing of it. Yeah, so that's the actual house that was involved in the.
Yeah, the real house is in Rhode Island. I forget which town it is, but it's not very far from me. And we were gonna go, but then I think I read that somebody new bought it, and you're not allowed to like tour it now or something. You can't. They posted shit up that you can't go on the land or something. I think.
Damn. That's cool.
If I'm wrong, let me know, because I would like to go back. I guess I'll look into it again. But
good shit, bro.
So yeah, so don't trust what you're being told is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. So I hope everybody like got something out of the show tonight. I know I did. I really enjoy researching these subjects, Shawnee, and getting together with you every Monday night and talking about this, bro. It's pretty cool.
Burrillville, Rhode Island, Clyde just put up there. So yes, Burrillville. Which you've probably never heard of before, Bobby, but that's okay.
No, I did not. Yeah, I see it up there in the chat now.
Yeah.
Grew up near it. There it is.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So, there's still a lot of shows left to come. And you can hit me up on Twitter. Tell me what you want to hear about. I'm trying to work on it all the time. I'd love to dig deep into this stuff. So I mean, I've still got a list of things on my agenda, but I'm always open to hear what anyone else has got to say. So you can hit me at not high register on Twitter or X. And I'm also on Cameo if anyone wants.
Andy gave us some good news about another way you can contact the show right here.
Yes.
Remember?
We now have a page on the Discord.
Fuck yeah, we're on the Shuli Show Discord, people. So look for the Seany Zone. It's one of the hashtags on there, so you can submit questions or anything you have, pictures and videos, anything you have there.
Anything. I will check it periodically. I'm sure Bobby, you will as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm constantly in and out of Discord, seeing what everybody's up to.
Yeah. So F John the F stuttering John, F John the stutterer too, because
all of them
they're both on my shit list. And I wanted to I want to shout out my friend Sarge. He's a local radio guy up here.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Sarge? Shout out.
Sarge here.
Is that right? That's his radio thing.
Yeah.
Sarge here. He's one of them radio guys. That's cool.
He does voice. He does play-by-play for the Celtics or something. So
I like that. I like a good radio voice. That's cool.
Shawnee, ever get a boner in church? I just read. No, I could. Except for when the priest got me in the back room. Never mind.
TMI. Here we go.
Erica Ann's loving the show, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Eric Ann.
Appreciate that. Alex chiming in. Thank you, Sean and Bobby. He just said thanks, not thank you. I put a word in there.
It's okay. We get it.
Bob's bag of teeth. I love the show. I think he's trying to say, so that's fine.
That's real. You said it just right too.
Stacey Allen, another banger. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
This is great.
She's awesome. She's got to be. Yeah. She's our third chair. Absolutely, man.
I would have to say she's the number one fan of the show. Samba Skull saying, Shawnee, you rock.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. So anyways, we'll be back at the same time next week with another unbelievable show that hopefully won't scare you too much, but hopefully scares you just enough.
All right, I see another. Yeah, you see it. You get that one.
Okay.
Take care of our friends before we go.
Rick's Wings and Rings, FKB, FSJ, FJ Beebs. Well, I
Hey,
can-
oh,
all
FJ
that.
Beebs, we know that one. Little code. Thank you for the $10
Thank you.
wings and
Thank
rings.
you, Ricks. Rings and rings. That's
Did that some nice abbreviations for you, some J Beebs. Right?
Yeah, I didn't.
FJ
I didn't.
Beebs again.
Yeah. I didn't cross the line with that one.
That's awesome. Well, Shawnee, I mean, you should be proud, bro. I'm having a lot of fun doing this show with you, bro. And I love that every week somebody shows up and says, this is great. Do this show. I really love it. So we hope that everybody joins us here every Monday at 9 o'clock East for the Seany Zone, because it's just going to get more fun and better. So we appreciate all the super chats. Super chats are what keep the show alive and going. So we love and appreciate you for all those too.
Absolutely. And tonight, I think we have a special outro for you, a special treat. I don't know if any of you have ever heard on Stern. I had discussed it when I was on J. Thomas's show. I used to sing in a band, and when I sing, it's clear as a bell.
Kind of like that old country singer, Mel Tillis. He was a famous
kind of
stutterer that when he sang.
Same
right?
idea. Yeah.
Same idea. But yeah, Shawnee is a Renaissance man. Shawnee is a comedian, podcast host, and also a musician, man. So yeah, tell everybody we're going to close the show with some of your shit, man, right?
Yeah. So the band name is Walston. We were performing from like 1999 to 2003. We had some fair regional success, but we never really cracked the mainstream. But it was all fun. It was a fucking great time. So I hope you all enjoy it.
All right.
And we'll see you next week
in the Seany Zone. Fuck yeah, that's right. That's how you do. We didn't rehearse that.
Maybe we should have.
All right.
Okay, we can play this song too.
Oh, which one you want? Now you
Decepticon.
I can never remember
I was looking at. Oh man.
You can
Sorry.
refuel. We'll give you
I
a second.
fucked it
But
all
yeah,
up.
so
I fucked it all up there.
Nah, it's a good song. It's always tricky when you're trying to deal with these live elements and YouTube pages, and they shit on you right when you need them the most. So
no doubt.
Yeah, Erica Ann says triple threat Shawnee. Yeah, man. See, that people don't notice Shawnee. People think he's just this guy that showed up with these wacky conspiracy theories. But when you peel the onion that is Shawnee, he's a really kind of interesting, cool dude. I'm really enjoying getting to know him. Other than knowing him from the Stern Show, knowing him personally is pretty cool. And I'm learning all these things as we talk about things. So it's really cool.
And you know, Bob, you make a great point. People paint you with the brush. If you listen to talk about any of the stuff, think about it, believe in it, they paint you as this fucking kook that that you can't have any graps. Like if you cross that line and you believe this one thing, then you're fucking crazy, and you can't be trusted around their kids, and you're fucking menace to society. And it's like, just because I don't you can't force feed me everything you want me to believe, and I'm gonna ask why, or what's that, how come that, why is this go on instead of this go on? It doesn't make sense. You just do that, and then you're like, oh well, you're a fucking kook, and it makes me, it really fucking frosts my balls. I don't like it.
We hope to kind of neutralize some of that. And like our friend Stacey Allen says, it's not so much about conspiracy theories. It's about questioning the narrative. And that's what we hope to do every week here on the Seany Zone. There we go. Let's how about we'll practice it again. Ready? That's what we do every week here on the Seany Zone. Oh, there you go. Okay. Let's run this cool ass thing. We hope y'all had a great time tonight.
All right.
I'm doing the devil horns that the demon dude taught me.
Demon.
I'm a Satanist, bro. I can't back that up.
I hope y'all enjoy.
Great show, guys.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks,
Peace, everybody. Peace and love. Have a great night and a great week.
And
we'll see you next time we see you.
One more time to say I'm sorry. It's all my fault. One more time to say I'm sorry. Not lost again, expecting me to say I'm sorry. It's all my fault. One more time to say I'm sorry. Through my lies, in my lies. to say I'm sorry.